Hey you guys, welcome to another episode of Slowing Down with the Scriptures. I'm Chris Matley. Thanks for joining me. Also joining me is my good friend and 7-year-old son, Ben Matley, right? You want to say hi, Ben?
Hi.
So, Ben wanted to join me for this episode so that we could play a little game that he likes to call...
This is totally not in the Bible.
That is totally not in the Bible, that's right. So he's kind of hijacking the episode. Ben's running the show. So we're going to talk about some things that are not found in the Bible, right? So these are sayings that people quote thinking they're in the Bible when they're actually totally not, right? Now, I'm going to read a handful of sayings, and then I'm going to ask Ben, is this in the Bible? And he's going to indicate whether it is or not. If it is, he'll give us a thumbs up. If it's not in the Bible, he's going to give us a very discreet and tasteful sound effect that he's prepared ahead of time, right? Something polite, but that indicates this is not found in the Bible. Did I explain that well? Okay, all right, good. So, number one, are you ready, Ben? Okay, so number one, this is a phrase that is either found in the Bible or not found in the Bible, okay? So this is the first one. I've heard people say this, to thine own self be true. Now, Ben, is that found in the Bible? Wow, that was not tasteful or discreet, but maybe we'll work on a different sound effect for next time. So, to thine own self be true. Well, Ben, you're absolutely right. That's not found in the Bible, is it? Nope. People say that sometimes as a way of saying, be true to your heart, be true to yourself, be you, right? Which is fundamentally, as Jesus followers, terrible advice. In fact, Proverbs tells us that the heart is deceptive above all things. So Jesus gives us an objective and higher standard than just our own characteristics and our own behavior. Now, that doesn't mean that we want to live falsely, but it means we want to aspire to something better than just what we can generate on our own, right? So, to thine own self be true, not in the Bible, right? Ready for another one? Okay, number two. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. So Ben, is that found in the Bible? Oh, gosh. I'm starting to feel like maybe you don't know what tasteful and discreet means. This too shall pass is not found in the Bible. You're absolutely right, Ben. You nailed it again. Do you know who Mike Ditka is? So he was a football coach for the Chicago Bears years ago, and I guess the team lost a bunch, and so they fired him. And he went out and gave a speech to the press, and he says, well, Scripture tells us this too shall pass. Sorry, Mike, you were wrong. It wasn't in the Bible. I think maybe he was thinking of all the times in the Scriptures where it says, it came to pass, right? Or maybe he was thinking of when Gandalf said in The Lord of the Rings, you shall not pass, right? Yeah. That could have been it. You got it wrong, Mike Ditka. Number three, cleanliness is next to godliness. Now, Ben, is this found in the Bible? Is it done? Yeah, okay. So, cleanliness is next to godliness. Not found in the Bible? No, it's not in there. Now, this is something that mommies say to little boys when it's time to wash behind their ears and take a bath, right? And next time mommy says this to you, we're just going to pretend like it is in the Bible, but it's not in the Bible. It's totally not found in the Bible. No. Number four, God cannot give you more than you can handle. Ben, is that found in the Bible? I'm so sorry. It's true, Ben. You nailed it. God cannot give you more than you can handle is not found in the Bible. In fact, this is something that people say to people when they're having a hard time, right? They might say, don't worry, Ben. God will not give you more than you can handle. But not only is that not found in the Bible, that is totally not true. We're given more than we can handle all the time in life, right? Right? I mean, that happens. In fact, if you could handle everything that life brought your way, then you wouldn't need help. You wouldn't need my help. And you wouldn't need God's help, right? We were meant to live in community with one another and in dependence on God as a source of power in our life. So of course, there's lots of things in life that we can't handle on our own. All right, number 5. We just got a couple more in here. So number 5 is, I like this one. God helps those that help themselves. Ben Matley. Is that found in the Bible? God helps those that help themselves. God help us. It's not found in the Bible. You're right, Ben. It's not in there. In fact, this is what Romans 5:8 says. While we were still sinners and unable to help ourselves, Christ died for us. That's really good news, huh? That's really good news. So if God only helped people that were willing to help themselves, then we wouldn't need Jesus. But we do need Jesus, don't we? And in fact, it's really good news that He made a plan for us long before we ever had a plan to help ourselves. Yeah. You're so agreeable, Ben. I appreciate that. All right. You want to do one more? Be in the world, but not of the world. Ben Matley. Is that in the Bible? I'm starting to think that none of these are in the Bible. Be in the world, but not of the world. Well, you know what? I'm going to push back a little bit on this one. You said that's not in the Bible, and it's true that phrase is not in the Bible, but listen to what Jesus said in John chapter 17, verse 14. He says, I have given them your word. He's talking about his friends, okay? He says, I've given them your word, and the world has hated them. For they are not of the world, any more than I am of the world, right? So he's saying that his friends aren't of the world, and he's not of the world, but that's probably because he's using the word world a little different than we use it. So what do you think of when you hear the word world? You think of Earth, right? Is that right? The planet Earth. That's how our Western mind thinks. But Jesus was not a Western thinker. When he said world, if you look at these verses, these passages, what he means is the bad culture of corruption and subjugation and people trying to hurt each other that live on this earth, right? He said, we're not of that, and I'm not of that. So that is true. That is true. But you're right, that phrasing is not found in the Bible. Ben is a real stickler for phrasing. If you don't know him, you just know that about him, right? You're a real stickler for grammar, phrasing and such. Yeah. I don't know where you get it from. All right, I got 2 more. Number 7, love the sinner, hate the sin. Ben, is that found in the Bible? No, that's not found in the Bible. You're right, Ben. Love the sinner, hate the sin. But you know what? I'd say that the concept is found in the Bible. In fact, did you know one of Jesus' nicknames, one of his titles was Friend of Sinners? Right? You know what a sinner is, right? Just someone that's made a mistake. Have you ever made a mistake, Ben?
Yes.
Have you made a mistake today? Yeah, me too. So, sinners are people that make mistakes, and Jesus is a friend to those people, isn't he? To both you and I. Yeah. Okay. Can we do one more? Okay. All right. One more. Benjamin Matley. God works in mysterious ways. Is that found in the Bible? Oh my goodness. We didn't get a single thumbs up in this whole list, did we? God works in mysterious ways. It's true, that phrase is not found in the Bible. In fact, I would say, Ben, this is my least favorite of all of these when I hear this. When someone says, God works in mysterious ways, I don't like it. Because oftentimes it sounds to me like a lazy way of dismissing someone's question about how God might do things in this world, or why God might do things or not do things in this world. And so I don't like that. Now, here's what it says in Isaiah. It says, this is Isaiah 55, verse 8. It says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. So, it does sound like God has some mysterious ways of doing things that we're not privy to, right? But in that same book of the Bible, in Isaiah, much earlier in the book, he gives us this amazing invitation. God says to his people, come, let us reason together. Let us intertwine and intermingle our thoughts and think about things together. He invites us to understand deep things. So while God does work in mysterious ways, he's inviting us to unravel and understand those mysteries. Pretty amazing, huh? Well, thank you very much for joining me. I don't feel like your sound effects were tasteful, discreet, or polite, but I do feel like they brought a little humor to a subject that maybe cheered people up. So thanks for sitting in with me. Do you want to wave goodbye before we go? Say bye, Ben.
Bye.
See you next time. All right.